Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Martin Luther King Jr. Day episode of Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Jaron Rosien. Our producer is Nick Steffens. Our publisher is Matt Bryant, and we're part of the Southeast Iowa Union. On today's show, we have a rescheduling of John Gish. We'll look forward to that another day. On Wednesday's show, we'll have Brendan DeLong. Today, we'll talk about a brief history of MLK Jr. Day. We'll talk about some odd news with Swedish dancing, Keef Bob's 2023 public domain changes, and we'll have some birthdays to wish, and we'll do a little weekend update. Of course, the police log and weather per usual as well. Let's start with the weekend update. Nick, how's it going?
It was a pretty good weekend. It was Jade's last weekend of winter break before her last semester of college, so we didn't really do much. We were supposed to do a Clue game night where we dress up as the character that we're supposed to be in Clue. I was not able to attend because I had to get back and do my
And what was your
errands.
character?
It was Colonel Mustard. I think that's what is supposed to be his name.
And should I remember, which one is Colonel Mustard?
I think he wears the pith helmet, has the mustache. I don't know. Maybe they've added characters, they've changed characters. I don't know. But I was supposed to be, and I forget which one Jade went as. The purple one is what Jade went as.
All right, well, that sounds like fun. My weekend included work, and we had a successful show with the Fatback Boys. Here's a picture. Well, that was the staff photo with all of the shirts that we were given, and here's the band photo. A candid picture, if you'll show that. It was a treat, super fun. We did all things pork for the Fatback Boys. So, of course, that's Todd Patterson, his wife Dana, and Joe Nichols, the trio. And they had some special guests, and we did all things pork. We did a smoked chop, center cut breakfast chop. We had a ham and Swiss, and we'd sold out a ham and bean soup. So all things pork for Fatback Boys.
That's a lot of pork. That upsets my stomach.
I think they have a logo of the pig, and the pig's name is Abe Froman. Oh, you can't make it up. So they're off to a good start. And then my friend got engaged and visited Friday night. I mentioned the swinging bridge, Lover's Leap, as a destination. I was a little nervous, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But apparently, super successful. He had some buddies go out beforehand that he's in school with, decorate with petals and some lollipop rings. And when they were walking across the bridge as their little field trip, Cassidy, who I just met, she's lovely, her first words were, "Kyle, I think someone got engaged here." And of course it was about to be her. So very, very sweet. Happy times. A little chilly, colder than it is today. Today it's 45 degrees, raining earlier. I've seen sunshine poke out, so it is improved.
When I typed that out at 8:30 this morning, it said it was going to keep raining, but apparently it didn't.
And it changed. So, of course, before we get into the police report, we should mention today's holiday is MLK Day, which I didn't realize. So Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in 1968, but it became a holiday in 1983 with President Ronald Reagan. But 3 years later is when it was first observed, and it was not until the year 2000 that all 50 states officially observed the day. So that was a piece, that was a piece I did not know.
I didn't know it was that long.
Third Monday in January, so we reflect on his movement, which was, of course, the nonviolent protests. So as we think of that today on MLK Day. Police report, and then we'll go to break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the things mentioned, the odd news, and the 2023 public domains, and then, of course, birthdays. If you have a birthday, anniversary, or local event, please throw that in the chat, or you can email washialive@gmail.com. If you haven't done so, please like and follow, share, so we can grow our group and give you the content that you like, and you can get notified when we go live for the variety of events that and shows that are on Washington Live. Over the weekend, we've had 75 calls for service, 13 in the category of traffic, 7 fire, 6 arrest warrants, 5 sex offender checks, 5 theft, 4 suspicious activity, 3s for harassment, public service, alarm, burglary, 2s and 1s down the rest of the list. Let's see what some highlights are. Thank you for printing these.
Of course.
Absolutely. I like your shirt today.
Thank you. Doesn't really show up that well on camera. I feel like it looks, at least on my screen, it looks a little
We got the burgundies
crazy.
rocking.
Yeah.
Let's see here. First, we had the report of a shoplifter that just left Casey's in the parking lot on a bicycle wearing a stocking cap and glasses. This was just a misunderstanding between the kitchen staff and cashier. No problem. No, that's good.
I mean, yeah.
It's like the gas drive-off.
I guess.
They're accidental. We have, in the south part of the county, structure fire on the Pleasant Plain Road, detached garage fully engulfed. Brighton, Richland, and Brighton QRS all responded and extinguished that fire. At the casino, we had a report of theft of a wallet on the gaming floor. The wallet has been returned to the owner as someone who found it turned it in. Unknown who found it. Subject was gone prior to 9217's arrival. $400 cash was stolen.
Oh.
No receipt or proof of the money.
I was wondering where the theft part came in
The wallet, yeah. So while the cash was reported stolen, there was no receipt or other proof of the money being in the wallet.
Do you think he could have just blown the $400 at the casino? I was like, it was in here when I don't know what happened to it.
And would you lie about the money being there or not being there?
Yeah.
I would think you could. The security at the casino should be tight.
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah, no less. We also have a report of a break-in of a 2011 GMC Terrain at the parking lot of 1 and G36. It was there for 3 hours. Broken into, no damage, threw things all around. 92.7 responded. Cash change and a Coach purse were taken. That stinks, but you got to lock your vehicles.
Yeah.
That is the key. That concludes that day. We move to the next, and we have the report of a street sign missing, stop sign. It was damaged. That was on Larch and 200th. Of course, the most stolen sign in the entire state of Iowa. Have we talked about this before?
I think we mentioned it once.
Right down the road from where my mom's side of the family, where we hunt, the Hoot Owl Hollow, which is fantastic. There's two. There's one at the start and one at the end. And I think they're there now, but for a hot minute, they were a hot commodity.
I definitely never stole any sort of sign when I was in high school. I would never do something like that.
Good. Bad behavior.
I definitely wouldn't.
We had a truck fire on South Avenue B. 102 advised the caller was spraying water on the fire, mostly smoke, no flames. So that happened. This was an odd one. Also, we have a thin white male, blonde hair, pushing a child in a stroller covered with a Spider-Man blanket, left Casey's West without paying for a Dr. Pepper. Request an officer. Check the area, unable to locate.
I promise that wasn't me.
So with this, that does fit your description for this one. We have cattle in the field in Wellman, Iowa. Made contact with the owner, advised that they'll be issuing a citation for the loose cattle. And I think that concludes that day. We did have another deer strike on our next day. Let's grab that one. And an animal trap. So this is odd. This is right by the hospital. It'd be across the street. Caller reports a live animal trap on her property that does not belong to the caller. 102 responded and will attempt to locate. I went to an event on East Polk, and there was like this raccoon. I might have talked about the raccoon, and it was like looking right at us, and we could almost walk up to it. And I think they were living in the storm drain.
You can be like one of those people that calls it in and says that it's sick for some reason.
Well, it was oddly close. It should have been more scared than it was. We have a front door burglary alarm on Sittler, but it was someone doing inventory that didn't have the alarm shut off. And then a deer strike on 218. Someone that ran out of gas in their Jeep, has gas money, just needed some assistance. Thank you to Public Safety for providing that, and to the gas station, and had a gas can. Finally, in Westchester, we did have a customer cut through a gas line at a residence. And that concludes a fairly quiet weekend.
Yeah.
Anything else to report before we go to break?
Not that I can think of.
Hey, we'll go to break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Swedish dancing, key fob tricks, and then we'll talk about public domain things as well on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Washington Live. We'll see you after the break.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross. Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hey, Andrea.
Hi, Todd.
What would bears be without bees?
I don't know.
Ears.
All right, the odd news. Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC.
Get ahead of yourself.
I'm Jaron, this is Nick, and yeah, this is the odd news of the day for me, but that you have known about since you were 8 years old, you said.
Yeah.
Car Expert shares an odd key trick to use when you can't remember where you parked. I opened this and I thought, well, of course, this is just the key fob. This is on Associated Press. But apparently, you face this situation many times, multiple level, parking garage, etc. Auto Expert, little known hack. When you're having trouble finding your car, place the key fob on your chin in order to increase the range of the car retrieval signal. Your head turns into an antenna. What did you share about your uncle?
So he taught me because we were in Des Moines.
Sure.
And it was parking garage, couldn't find it. And apparently, if you take this part and then you put it like right here, and you click the like whatever button, your head works as like an antenna to reach it. And it turns out we were in the wrong parking garage.
Oh.
But he taught me that.
I'm glad you figured it out. So is it related to the electrical activity within your brain, or
think
just the
so.
skull situation and like?
I'm not smart enough when it comes to the brain to know, but it works. I can guarantee you that it does work.
And this verifies from colloquial experience. We gave the hack a go for ourselves and found that it indeed does work. This is Associated Press, but it won't work for everyone. The key fob seems to work on most cars, but we couldn't get it to work on a Fiat, but it did work on a VW, for instance.
It's weird.
I had no idea. I mean, I knew about holding it in the air.
Yeah, and just getting it higher up.
I know when I'm at the Y and it was like deep winter, it wouldn't go through the block, but I would just crack the door a little and do an auto start. And then...
Well, the good thing about
vehicle.
now that I have this Buick is that the Saturn, I would like replace the battery on the clicker. I don't know what it's called, and it would just like die after one use. So I can like finally unlock my car from a distance, and it's like
the Saturn that was not functioning.
yeah,
and this one,
which is like one of those things where it's like everyone's been being able to do that for like what 30 years, and I'm just now able to do it.
Welcome to the party.
Yep.
Yeah. In other odd news, this is in Sweden. The government has made moves to get rid of the permits needed for dancing. Their center-right coalition wants to cut red tape when it comes to abolishing just a decade-old requirement.
I thought it was one of those like they're on the book. They like wrote it in 1860 and they just like forgot to get rid of it.
We have a dance permit for the city of Washington. I remember because JP's isn't like a big dancing place, but then occasionally there's dancing and music and things that go with it. And it was our former city clerk, Isla Ernest, that let me know, hey, you need a dancing permit if you're going to have a dance. And it's like $25. And I think this stems to code from the, I don't know, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah. Well, I know there's another dumb law in the Iowa books where a man with a mustache can't kiss his wife out in public.
Is that still on there?
I think as of like a couple years ago, it was.
I did not know this. In Sweden, the permit is $67, almost not quite 3 times the amount here. As it is, owners can lose their license if police officers come by and find out that a venue did not have authorization to let the patrons dance. It is not reasonable for the state to regulate people's dance, said the Justice Minister Gunnar Stromer. By removing the requirement for a dance permit, we reduce bureaucracy and costs for entrepreneurs, so on and so forth. That's so news to me.
I mean, like the movie Footloose, obviously a classic, but it's like I didn't know that was.
I grew up. Well, not quite, but one.
Yeah, but I thought that was like a fake thing. Like it was in the movie. It was just one random Timbuktu town that did it. I didn't think it was like a widespread thing.
Oh, Bible Belt.
To have. I guess that's true.
Yeah. What was the? Yeah, I'll have to swing back to that film. I had a nice little like day of film watching that was fairly relaxing. And Oklahoma Bible Belt, the movie Tar was one. The extremes were, it was Oklahoma. The Tulsa King with Sylvester Stallone.
I think I've heard about it.
So those were two very different things. With the new couple, we rented the movie Tar, which is about a composer.
Oh, okay. I've heard about this. Is it good?
Slowly moving, but good. Like serious stuff.
Yeah.
And then the Tulsa King, which is one of those Taylor Sheridan. I didn't realize how much he's killing it because you've got 1923, 1886.
Whatever year.
Yellowstone. Did not realize that Mayor of Kingstown and Tulsa King are also Taylor Sheridan films.
He's got some pretty fat
I think
residual
every
checks
single one has a horse except for Mayor of Kingstown. And other news. Hey, I think we're going to go to break.
Yep.
When we come back, we're going to talk about public domain things. This includes Sherlock Holmes. You want to talk about Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
We're going to do public domain, and we'll play the birthday game if Nick pulls those birthdays
I'm halfway there.
up. We're halfway there. If you have a birthday, stick it in the chat or email washialive@gmail.com. I have 6 to wish today after the break.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm Jaron. That's Nick. We're going to close out our show with some public domain chat and some birthdays.
Yep.
All right. 2023 public domain debuts include Sherlock Holmes. So this is a long-running contested copyright dispute over Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's detective, apparently. There's a whole list of books that fall into this category and become public domain as the calendar turns 2023. What would you like to add?
So the interesting thing with Sherlock Holmes, the reason it's so contentious, and the reason that we keep getting the same exact Sherlock Holmes, where he's like, kind of an a-hole and like is mean to people, is because those old books where he is that way are in the public domain. But the books where he's kind of reformed and is a lot nicer to people haven't entered the public domain.
I see.
So in the past couple of years, like the BBC, when they made Sherlock, the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock, they had to make Sherlock an a-hole.
Okay.
Because if you made him nice, well, that's not how he was until the later books, so that would be violating the copyright.
That I did not
And
realize.
so that's why it's been so annoying the past couple of years, because you would have to purposely make Sherlock a very nasty person.
So is this, where does Enola Holmes fall into
And
this?
that's
Where
why
it's the sister.
Yeah, so that's why they made Enola. It's like, well, because technically Henry Cavill or Cavill, whatever his name is,
I really like
he's not
him.
the main character, so it's not really a Sherlock story. But the reason that came up is because his Sherlock wasn't mean to people. And so the granddaughter, whoever is in charge of the estate, tried to say like, well, that violates it because he's acting this way rather than being the heroin fiend jerk that he is in the earlier books.
So there's another spinoff as well. Who is Sherlock's sidekick? Is it Albert? Or-
Watson.
Watson, that's right.
Yes.
So there's a show called Watson that's out.
Yeah, and so that's why.
I've only seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, but that's why we keep getting these like weird spin-offs, because you can only rehash the same storylines and characters so many times.
So this is why you're excited about the release,
so
because we'll see a
we're-
variety of Sherlock.
Yeah, we're actually going to get new, interesting takes on Sherlock, because after A Letter in Scarlet, he becomes a lot nicer because he gets outsmarted. He's like, oh, maybe I'm not the smartest person in the world, and he starts being nicer to people.
That is fascinating.
But like if you watch the BBC one, he's just a jerk the entire time.
Good to know. So things with Sherlock Holmes to look forward to include a new take on Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
I really like Henry Cavill in The Tale of Monte Cristo. Such a good movie. Have you seen that one?
I have not, but I
think
do
you'd
like
like it.
I do like Henry Cavill.
Do you have a favorite Sylvester Stallone film?
I mean, I feel like probably the Rocky movies. I was going to make an inappropriate joke, but
Oh, fair enough. Well, Tango and Cash is like a throwback that immediately popped to mind when I was asked this question. And then, of course, there's the Rambo,
I was going to say
the Rambo franchise.
I feel like Sylvester Stallone, when I was growing up, he was like the more Expendables older Sylvester Stallone. I didn't get prime.
This makes me think
Sylvester.
of my grandma Rosemary, who is proper, but however loves the, as she would call them, shoot 'em up, bang bang, books and movies like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like all the things that are shoot 'em up, bang bang. So there's a callback. Let's see. You had another domain that you wanted to talk about, Winnie the Pooh.
So I think this was 2021 or 2. Winnie the Pooh entered public domain, so they made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie where Winnie the Pooh and Piglet are like these serial killers, and they're tormenting Christopher Robin and a bunch of like teenage kids.
Did you watch that?
I didn't. I like completely forgot about it. I saw things on Twitter, like the trailer and everything.
I'm not a huge horror movie fan. Too scary for me. I'm not.
I am.
I can do with thriller. Like I don't like thriller, intense drama, like so on. But horror, not.
And so now when you sent that over text this morning, the like domain thing, I was like, oh, I completely forgot about it. So maybe I'll go watch it if I can find it somewhere.
All right. Well, homework for you.
Homework.
Hey, we're going to go to the birthday segment. We're looking forward to having Brendan DeLong on our next show on Wednesday. We're going to talk about pancake things. Happy birthdays today go out to Trisha Kroll. A belated birthday. You had a nice party. Jake McFrau, Rosamond Goodlander from my childhood, like church, Elizabeth Watson, Shelley Dua, and Ethan Black all have birthdays today. Happy birthday to you. We have 4 celebrity birthdays. I understand that Nick has not cheated. Let's see if we can do a draw again. Let me get my notepad.
Yeah, I didn't print off a piece of paper because I didn't know if we were going to do the birthday game or not today. So,
well, let's give it a go. You're up first with Lynn Manuela Miranda.
The guy that did Hamilton, right? So, like, I feel like he has to be, I think he has kids, 47.
47.
I think I want to say that he, like, is just aging very well.
I'm going to do the under and go 46.
Okay. Are you Googling it?
How old is Lynn Manuel Miranda? What do we have here? He is 43.
So we were
So what
both.
did you say?
I said 47. You got a point.
I will take that point. We're off to a good start. 1 point to 0.
That's where I was
Kate
gonna get
Moss
duped.
is next.
I have no idea how old
So,
Kate Moss is. Let me see if I
again-
can. Where's the photo of her?
The Pete Davidson following, for me,
There's
there's Kate Beckinsale, not Kate
Okay, I was
Moss.
like, there's no
Oh,
way he
shoot.
dated Kate Moss.
All right, now I am in trouble. I have no idea either. Let's go with a 50.
50?
I'm going to go with that 50.
I'm going to go 45. I don't know if she's 50.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably wrong on this one.
Let's see here. How old is Kate Moss? 49.
So, yep, you're pulling ahead.
I'm getting it today.
But I know I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this next one, though, so I'm not too upset.
And you are first with this one. So this is the baseball player, Albert Pujols.
Well, I mean, I think you should go first because I know the answer. So then you're just going to be able to.
All right, I'll take it. And I will say, can you give me a clue of like who
He just retired this year.
I'll do.
This last season was his last.
I really have no idea. 49?
I'm pretty sure he's 43. I'm pretty sure he was 42 over the season, and he just would have turned 43.
Albert Pujols. Let's find it out. You are correct. He has
Yes.
43. 2 points for Nick.
I saw him play over the
0
summer.
for me. Now we're tied up.
Yep.
Gosh darn
I
it.
saw him play over the summer, and he was definitely played like a 40. Like, it was one of those things when, like, you have kids, go be like a dad. Like, he
So
looked
that
like...
is that an early retirement for baseball?
That's a late retirement.
Okay.
There's some people that can play long, but 42, and he was like playing first base, and like he went to like reach for a ball, and you can kind of see his gut like came out of his jersey. And I'm like, just retire. Like, you look like someone's dad playing out there.
Well, he is someone's dad, so
Yeah.
there it be. We have one more to go before we close out today's Washington Live.
Where's John Carpenter? He's speaking of horror movies. This is the famous horror movie director. He's
All
looking
right.
a little rough.
We don't know if it's a recent picture. You just pulled it.
I'm pretty sure it's. I think he just has.
Who's
looked like
first
this.
on John?
I
Would
think
you like to go
am.
first?
85. I feel like he's getting really old.
I guess I'll go on the upper. I'll do 86.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm Googling here. How old is
John Carpenter.
Mr. John Carpenter?
The Thing's a great movie.
85, 80. Oh,
What is he?
75.
Oh, we're kind of mean.
That was not nice, but we are at another tie. So that's 2 times in a row for a draw.
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
take
we're
it.
kind of experienced since we do this 3 times a week.
I know. I do think I try harder with you, and
That's fair. You do try to be nice to the guests.
it doesn't always work. It can be hit or miss. Hey, thank you for watching this Martin Luther King Jr. Day episode of Washington Live. We will see you on Wednesday with guest Brendan DeLong. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon.